I love ice cream. I love big back ribs. I love having childlike fun.
I love lamp.
I love how much the internet collectively hates James Corden, as he seems like a real piece of shit. And I love the Ocarina of Time, and I love ice levels in video games. So combine ice levels and the Ocarina of Time together, and you get Ice Cavern. This should give me a boner bigger than if Pinocchio said like 1,000 lies. Like, this should be perfect. But what does it actually mean for this level? I would say it's good, but other levels are better than this game. I've talked highly about the Ocarina of Time for like the entirety of this channel, and this year I've highlighted many of the good parts of it. And even some of the more negative videos about it, like when I was talking about the Shadow Temple, are still generally positive because it's just a great temple and a great game. So let's talk about the Ocarina of Time for Winter Month, and particularly the Ice level, which is a good level, but it doesn't hit the same high marks as the other levels do. So if you look what the video title states, could Ice Cavern have been better? Is that even proper English? I'm not entirely sure at this point. Do I need to have in there? I'm not entirely sure. And the guy who makes the title is kind of an idiot. Which is me. I'm an idiot. Huh. And I'd say yes. It's a good level, but I'd like to believe there could be more to it. And here's why. Maybe this is unfair to Ice Cavern, as I'm comparing it to like awesome levels like the Forest or the Spirit Temple. Those are like the main dungeon in this game. Places that are about as exciting as burning a Call of Duty game. Ice Cavern would struggle to meet that mark, as it's just a mini dungeon. I think it would be awesome if it was a main dungeon, and there could be so many more areas where you can explore in this beautiful ice layout. This place feels both challenging and peaceful at the same time with the design they created. I don't even know how that's possible, but they pulled it off. But instead you're kind of stuck with just some more basic puzzles, which I'll get to in a sec, and a few enemies coming around, but that's kind of it. It's actually not too long. And right around when you get to what might be the halfway point of the dungeon, you get the dungeon item in the iron boots. And then you're done. Like, instead of continuing on with the dungeon, it's kind of like what your parents said when you went to college and said, nah, just get the fuck out of here. I would love to see what this dungeon would be if it was a main dungeon, but it is a mini one, so that is the case. Zelda games do have the best puzzles in all of video games. This dungeon has some good ones. Not great ones, though. I'd say collecting the rubies are fine, which I do enjoy, and, you know, working with the ice block puzzle, moving it around, I'd say that's still pretty good. Floors are a little slippery, which can be a bit annoying with the N64 joystick, as it wasn't the best in the 90s. And perhaps they didn't have to enforce us to be as precise in walking, especially with these ice kissy fucks trying to, like, Mr. Freeze you.
In this universe, there's only one absolute. Everything freezes.
You know, it's been 25 years. I'm not sure if many people actually even know about this movie. If you haven't, maybe go watch it. It's like a masterpiece in a bad way. I think it's on like HBO or something, so go enjoy it. Like, leave this video, just go enjoy it. That's going to be a much more memorable experience. Not a good way, but it will be. But yeah, the ice kissies are quite annoying in all these kind of challenges. As the biggest thing too is also managing the blue fire. Several places in this dungeon require you to melt this red ice thing, and the only thing that can do that is blue fire. So you need to manage your bottle situation well so you can bring the blue fire with you throughout the entire dungeon. Which, unless you have more than one bottle, which is actually only one bottle is required at this point of the game, it can get a little annoying. Like, I don't think backtracking puzzles are too bad if they're designed well, but even with this small of a place, it doesn't really fit great in it. Like, even if you unlock the other blue fire location, you still gotta backtrack to get to them, so it doesn't save you too much time. So don't get me wrong, the dungeon is small, so I can't have that many puzzles in it. I just wish there was probably a little more creative puzzles, but it wasn't the case. And let's wrap this up with the end of the dungeon. Some mini dungeons have bosses at the end of it, like Dead Hand, who is as ugly as your mom. Ice Cavern has an ice wolf at the end of it, which is like a spin-off of the other wolf enemy. It does go down pretty easy too, without putting up much of a fight. At which point you get the iron boots, you learn like the next song, and then you can move forward with your life. I just really wish there was more to it though. Like, there'd be such creative ice enemies and you end up with a wolf. In Twilight Princess they had Blazita, which, I'll be honest, is kind of an easy fight. But it was so atmospheric using all the ice. Goat, however the fuck you pronounce this guy's name. I guess he wasn't too icy, he's a mechanical bull. But it's still a pretty damn good fight in the middle of a snow dungeon. And yes, again, this is a mini dungeon, not like one of the main dungeons I just described. But you still feel like you could have a bit more of a creative fight than an ice wolf. Yeah, to me, just ending with that is just, it just felt like it could be more. But the room you fight him in is an excellent design, though. Hell, the entire place is a pretty excellent design. And it's a good soundtrack to go with that design. Just like all Zelda levels, this is definitely a good level. And hell, even a great level. But I felt like if it could be an awesome level, it just needed more to it. It just missed that mark. It's kind of the same thing with the Shadow Temple, where it's just kind of a great level. But especially when compared to other levels in this game, it just seems a little lower. But oh well, I still love this game, I still love all ice levels.